Welcome to the Sunday Night Talk, everybody. My name is Patrick Ramirez. This is my show. It is Super Bowl Sunday. That means this is the season finale of the Sunday Night Talk. The Seattle Seahawks are our champions. We talk about everything that went into our Sundays. My co-host Omar Carmona is with me. Where do we go? What did we eat? What do we root for? What do we watch on TV? And who do we spend it with? Biggest thing about football is how you enjoy it and who you enjoy it with. That's what we're going to talk about, everything that goes into it. It's a love letter to football. It's the season finale. It's everything we've waited for. So we got a lot to discuss. We got season finale awards to give out, our breakdown of the game itself, and also looking forward as well. If you're new to the show, it grew so much this year with new subscribers, new listeners, and we thank you for it. Every listener counts. I do it for you, people. Everything that interests me, everything I can make a show out of, I put up here on my channel. Stand-up comedy, the Sunday Night Talk, the movie series, the one-on-one interview. It's all up there. And I'm going to keep doing it. The season is ending, but there's still more stuff to look forward to in the off-season too. Don't forget that. We got to talk about that too. If you're a Patriots fan, you're probably in the dumps right now. If you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, there's no limit to what you're going to do to celebrate your team. Somewhere in the middle is us. And that's what we're going to talk about. It is the season finale of the Sunday Night Talk, and it starts right now. Welcome back, everybody. Recording this at 10:14 Central Time. It's the season finale of the Sunday Night Talk. We have a Super Bowl champion. With me is Omar Carmona, my co-host, putting a bow on this NFL season. It's been a long season. If you're new to the YouTube channel, give it a like, give it a subscribe. But Omar, what are your emotions right now? Are you happy for the Seahawks? Are you sad the season is over? Do you feel like we got everything we wanted out of this season overall? Like, I feel like I'm decompressing from this game and the whole year all right now in one day. So where's your head and heart at right now with just the end of the NFL season and our newly crowned Super Bowl champions?
Not the best game. It seemed like the Seahawks jumped out to this lead. They're getting all those field goals in the beginning of the game, and not a whole lot happened. Kenneth Walker obviously ran the ball extremely well. Very difficult to bring down. He was coming out of the backfield, real strong downhill runner, and and the defense of the Seahawks just stopping New England. So it was the season doesn't end on this like exciting, final drive. That didn't happen.
Yeah. The one of the all-time Super Bowls we did not get today. That being said, just speaking of Seattle, short of 2, maybe 3 plays, they were utterly dominant today. I don't think there's anything they really did wrong in the whole game, from game planning to execution of the offense to the defense giving the New England offense fits, and in the special teams with all the field goals they nailed. And on the flip side of it, New England, I think, was outmatched. I don't think there was anything that they were doing that the Seahawks didn't figure out. And when it came down to it, they could not make any adjustments to make any changes whatsoever. They went into halftime with 0 points and didn't feel like they had any changes. So it's a tough loss for the New England Patriots. But I think the Seahawks came in here with a ton of energy, a ton of momentum, and there was nothing that stopped them today. It was domination. There was no point in that game when I really felt New England had figured anything out besides maybe a 5-minute stretch right there in the middle of the third where I thought it was a threat. Did you feel that we watched domination tonight?
From beginning to end, it reminded me a lot of, I think in the buildup, I was saying how much the New England team reminded me of the 2001 team. And this Super Bowl, this Seahawks team kind of reminded me of that Seahawks team that beat Denver. Um,
Mm-hmm.
those years, just it was just a bell to bell butt kicking.
Leading up to the game, like you and so much Patriots fan base and stuff, it totally hooked me this week. I bought into the Patriots hype, especially at the line at -4.5. I was like, yeah, I think they can cover that and I think they can win. And I'm going through just all the Patriots, like they're at their best when nobody believes that in them. And that's what this Patriots team definitely was this week. And just go through the Patriots week leading up to the game. We had the Bill Belichick snub from the Hall of Fame. We had the Robert Kraft snub from the Hall of Fame. We have Tom Brady saying, I don't have a dog in this fight for the Super Bowl. I'm like, are you insane? You don't have a dog in this fight? This New England was your career. They got that. New England was the underdog. And then MVP votes come out, and Drake May loses the MVP by 1 vote to Stafford. I was like, look at all these things going against the Patriots. This is the tailor-made recipe for the nobody believes in us Patriots. This is happening. And I'm so glad I didn't bet it because I mean it would have been the all-time money throwaway. And then flip it to like the Seattle side of it. They were just better in every facet of the game. And I think we had these concerns last week or 2 weeks ago where we said, where's the offense going to come from the Patriots? Are they going to have answers? We watched this Patriots team throughout the postseason, and every single win was ugly. There wasn't a real defining win, and yet we still believed. So going into the game, were you still on the Patriots side of things? Or did you change midweek to the Seattle side?
No. I was gonna ride with the Patriots today. Um, and Drake May just did not have a good game. It was real hard to watch, and I feel for the guy. Um, you know, you like to think that the pieces are in place in New England to build on something, and you know there's no reason why they can't make it back. But or it's going to be a Cincinnati Bengals type thing with Joe Burrow. You made it, and maybe it doesn't work out for you again, and you don't
Mm-hmm.
go back, and because of injuries. It's so hard to make it back.
Yeah, they're like every Super Bowl losing team gets to this crossroads starting day one of next season where it's like, are we ever going to make it back? And that first hurdle comes during the season, that first bit of adversity during the season, and is the mindset like, oh no, here we go, or is it going to be like, all right, everybody band together, we can make through it? It's just such a traumatizing thing to go through a Super Bowl loss, whether you're early in your career, middle, or late. And just just the Patriots relationship like we have is something where we haven't seen the Patriots lose that much over the last 20 years. So it's strange when we have to watch them deal with disappointment. And this is a new generation of Patriots. This isn't Tom Brady. This is a new Drake May and Vrabel team. Watching them go through just the lowest of lows on the national stage is kind of strange to observe because I'm watching all the old New England Super Bowls this week, and you're just like, wow, what a dynasty. What a time it was to be a New England fan, to be a Tom Brady fan. Everything Bill Belichick coached or put it on the field was usually pretty good. And then we watched this just complete lack of everything in the Patriots game today. And it's like, what team is this? Hold on. Is this team? It's a really odd Super Bowl when halfway through it, you're wondering the team that the Patriots beat to get in the Super Bowl. You're wondering how would the Broncos do in this game?
Yeah.
And I even said I watched the game with my brother. I was like, in the third quarter when nothing's happening on offense, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if Caleb Williams was in the game right now? This would be the time where he would improvise. And we lost a little side of the competition of it. So interesting game. Although I have to say Seattle was awesome today. They were on every bit of it. Was there anything that Seattle was doing where you were watching them and you knew this was our Super Bowl champion, no going back?
I just think just how off Drake made they made Drake May look.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sam Donald always took heat for the I see ghosts out there line when
Mm-hmm.
he played that game with the New York Jets. But the one that looked like they were seeing ghosts was that was Drake May today.
Yeah, he had the look in his eyes where he's just completely lost.
and
completely.
so he and it seemed like he just never recovered. Um, and with that's when you just knew. But there was nothing he can do. He was just not getting rid of the ball in time and getting sacked. And he's a great athlete. He did scramble. Um, but it's just and then when he would get the ball out, it was off. He missed some throws. There were a couple drops,
Hmm.
but he missed some real head
Yeah.
scratchers.
And even Collinsworth his demeanor went from like, oh, okay, to frustrated to mad. That one play where they were backed up and they had the tight end open and May overthrows him, and Collinsworth was just like, he's still running. They're going to be on the 50. They're going to get out of this hole. And he just misses him. Like, Collinsworth started to get annoyed at the end of this game where he's like, yeah, there's plays where he's getting blitzed, he's under pressures, and there's plays where he's not, and he's still missing these throws. It was one of the all-time big stage low performances for me. Like, we always need a couple days after these games to really place what we just saw in the proper category. But man, was May rattled today. They couldn't run the ball. And you said it, like there was a couple of receiver drops, but I counted like one or two where the receivers could have helped out their quarterback, and that was it. Other than that, it was on May. The interceptions were bad, the overthrows were bad, and the sacks were bad as well. Did you have any hope that the Patriots could have made this a game at any point during the game?
I think when they got that long touchdown, you just knew that they
Mm-hmm.
did have the defense that's capable of getting a quick three and out. But
Yeah, that's true.
but
They
that
were getting their defense was giving the offense the ball back a lot.
but they just couldn't. But once they got the ball back, it became a serious field position game. It just seemed like the Patriots were starting, way on their end, and they just didn't move it much.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was like, Sam Darnold starting, I think, like at a 33-yard line, 35-yard line consistently. And, Kenneth Walker's running. But, even after moving the chains, the Patriots would still get off the field, but that defense got gassed, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
It's
The
amazing the
defense did a great
defense held
job. That
on, yeah, as long as they did. Because
Christian
it
Gonzalez, he played a huge game. He broke up some passes where
mm-hmm.
he came from out of nowhere, and defended those balls that Sam Darnold's trying to get out.
Yeah,
Um,
he was the revelation on the Patriots D today because he was breaking up those plays that would really have flipped the field, blown the game wide open. And to the Patriots' credit, like you said, like it wasn't like they were getting three and outs, they were getting like six and outs because Seattle would get that one first down and then New England would lock them down after that. Like Walker would have an 8-yard run, and then on the next carry, they'd stop him for no gain. Like it was
mhm.
weird how much they were bending and then they would lock down and their offense just couldn't give them anything to work with. And it just felt like the whole game seemed like a boxing match where one fighter was winning every single round. And about that ninth or 10th round, he finally puts the other guy on the canvas.
Right.
I never felt the Patriots were going to threaten them. That one drive where they went basically down the field in 4 plays, I
Yeah.
thought, oh, okay. And that's
You
how
know,
this whole season has been is like
you
all
know,
of a sudden these games get good.
and Drake May almost threw for 300 yards, but he
Hmm.
did. You get sacked and get sacked 6 times, lose 43 yards. And then you talk about those two big interceptions. Just that stat line alone, you're not going to win.
And the writing was on the wall early because I think it was sacked like 5 times in the first half. It was already like overflowing. And I mean, one of my biggest gripes in this game is I'm really disappointed in Vrabel and the play calling in this game. Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, like it seems like they called the same 6 plays the entire game. They
Hmm.
couldn't block anybody. And still May is taking 5-step drops and looking around the field. It's like what even NBC Peacock, the halftime announcers were like, they need to throw some screen passes.
Yeah.
Omar, would it surprise you if I told you this one screen pass the Patriots threw was the very last play of the game?
Yeah. Crazy.
what was going on with this play calling? I was like, a reverse, a flea flicker, get him out of the pocket, and
Yeah.
they did nothing, nothing. I couldn't believe that a Vrabel coach team lacked the ability to adjust in the second half like that. I really thought we were going to have a game here because that's how the whole season is gone. It's like, oh, boring game. Oh, wait till the fourth quarter. It didn't happen today. It did not
Yeah.
happen one bit.
Cooper
Uh,
Cup. I mean, how about Cooper Cup? 6 catches, 61 yards. That was kind of that was he was targeted 12 times. I think obviously I think he benefited not ben I don't want to say benefited, but his numbers went up with Jackson Smith and Jigba going
mhm,
down. Um, and given and that JSN, he's a superstar. I think hats off to Sam Darnold for you lose your superstar for a good amount of that game,
mhm.
and you're still able to weather the storm.
Yeah, that's where I think Seattle was just completely in control. Was they lose their superstar, and it's like, all right, here's contingency plan number one. We're ready. We're gonna run the
Yeah,
ball. We're gonna throw here. We're gonna throw underneath. We're gonna stretch the defense. Like oddly, a game that like really did not throw deep that often. Seattle didn't really need to. Patriots needed to, and just seems like they couldn't get it. And then when they were open, throws were off. It was a really, really subpar offensive performance from the Patriots. And I felt like if Seattle made any mistakes, especially in that third quarter, they would have let the Patriots in somehow, some way. It would have been one of those ugly, grinded out Patriots games. But Seattle was just so airtight. There was nothing that they were going to put the ball in harm's way. So Seattle, hats off to them. I don't think they made a single misstep beyond that one fight on the sidelines that the referees didn't call.
right.
I thought they were locked down, and I was watching because I started my Super Bowl coverage like at 11 a.m. today, and they were recapping both team seasons, and they're doing the Rams playoff game with the Seahawks, and I forgot how close that dumb taunting penalty by the Seahawks almost cost them the game. I'm like, man, your season can end pretty quickly by something dumb like that. And that's the feeling I got when they didn't call that little sideline skirmish of it. But wow, these seasons turn quickly. But nothing turned in this game. So let me give you a little lead up, and then I can ask you about your Super Bowl Sunday. All right, Super Bowl 60, Super Bowl LX,
Hmm.
Seattle versus New England. They're both 14-3. Interesting enough, the betting line all week long did not shift. It was Patriots minus one
No.
and a half all week long. The over under was 45 and a half. And I decided for my final weekend of sports betting to go big. And by big, I wanted to go with some prop bets. I was too nervous to bet the game, the over under. So I went with a bet of an offensive lineman to score a touchdown plus 2200. Put a few bucks on that. And then I went with backup Seattle tight end Elijah Arroyo, anytime TD score plus 1,000. Didn't happen. Did not happen. This was not the game for scoring. So emptied out the account. Fun year of betting though. Really wanted to happen. Didn't happen. So how about your weekend in general, Omar, leading up to Super Bowl Sunday?
I had the kids this weekend. This morning, well, my daughter, so the Super Bowl party was at your parents' house here in El
Yeah, you
Paso.
went to my parents' house for Super Bowl.
Yeah,
How was that?
yep. It was fun. There was a little cooking competition. They had a competition for who made the best appetizer, the best entree, the best dessert. Um, a lot of good
Really?
entries.
Yeah, you go to my
Yeah,
parents' house. It's not enough to actually just do the thing. Like there has to be some sort of game or competition
yeah, right, right.
going on. Like you
Something.
can't just watch the game. It's like, all right, now it's time for the sock hop. Now it's time for. So how was the food? Because there was some talk on my end of what my brother's offering may or may not be. What did you think?
The Your brother's meatballs were delicious. I thought. Two entries for the wings. Both were very good. My
Hmm.
girlfriend took a cheese platter. Um, My daughter and my daughter and mother did like a fruit or cupcakes and a fruit pizza dessert.
Huh.
Really, it was really neat. No, and there's just great. It was good food. But anyway, but my son had a basketball game this morning at 9. Patrick, my Super Bowl Sunday started off with seeing the head coach and assistant head coach of my son's seventh grade basketball team get ejected. And since there were no
Whoa.
coaches available, they had to forfeit the game in the fourth quarter. They were losing, but
What? You couldn't step
so
in as the interim coach or something just to
no,
keep the
you
game
know
going?
what? I wouldn't care. Enough.
Wow. Wow. Would you say your son was more New England Patriots team or Seattle
He
team
was
this
going
morning?
he was going for the Patriots. He was going for the Patriots.
But your son's
He's
like basketball team. Would you say like were they winning? So is this forfeit like bad? Or were they struggling like the Patriots all day?
No, they were on the Patriots side. But it was a close game.
Mm.
It was a close game, but it was just at the end they were pulling away, and then I think it was just it was some bad calls. I know it, but then like yeah, people got upset, but gosh, parents get involved. Other coaches are getting involved and gaslighting each other. So yeah, it starts off with an ejection. Cam had another game, but at another gym. So in between we went to pick up a shake, and so at this point, in the car as we're driving across town, Super Bowl radio, NFL Network is on now. We are
Hmm.
we are listening to the build up and the storylines, and I think all the anecdotes kind of are done. Nobody's telling stories about when they were doing it. Like we're just talking about like this game, how the teams are feeling. Because obviously I think at some point media is restricted. At some point on Friday there's no more media availability,
Hmm.
um and so you're just really at this point it's just commentary. No more interviews. It's how are the what what we are just guessing how they're going to
Hmm.
look when they come out at kickoff.
So your son's coach got ejected from a game they were winning.
No, they were losing. They were
Oh,
losing.
they were
We were the, we,
losing,
we were the
and then they had
Patriots.
to
We were the Patriots.
forfeit the
Yeah,
game.
but they had to still forfeit.
It's
Um,
unbelievable. So
yeah.
was there like a ref altercation? Was it just words? Was there an actual physical contact of the
The
ref that
ref,
got him
the
kicked
ref,
out?
the ref missed and it was clear. And then there's people, parents already took videos, and videos are already circulating, on our
Oh
group
my god.
chats, um, and the referee missed a call. The other team double dribbled, clearly double dribbled, and we were trying to get a rally going, and the other team clearly double dribbled, and our players jump up and they're calling double dribble, and I guess that same player kind of fell, and I think as he's falling down our player kind of gave him a
Hmm.
little extra nudge, which is a hard foul, Pat. You know what I mean? You play basketball, that's a hard foul.
Hmm.
Well, they gave our kid a technical, um
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, and so it was definitely a hard. So the coaches are just all up in arms, and the assistant head coach is the father of the kid that got teed up, and that was
Got
his
it.
second technical.
What? So you got the
Um,
head coach and the assistant coaches getting technicals.
yeah,
Okay, so by the end of this whole situation, both
Patrick,
your
they had to
coaches are
be
kicked out.
not only that, Pat, not only they were like kicked up from the building too. Like they couldn't even go to the locker
Oh
rooms.
my god. What kind of league is this? This is unbelievable. The parents and the coaches in this youth sports of how
Oh,
crazy
it's
it
it's it's
gets.
it's crazy, Pat. I mean, people have lost their minds with this stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Unbelievable. So your Sunday's already off to a weird,
And,
frantic
I
start.
think the funny thing is, like, I don't think my coaches, they had a great point. You know what I mean? But it's just like the referees, and and then like other coaches are like trying to gaslight our. It was just, it's an ugly scene, and you hate to see it at a kid's
How much
game.
How much do you get involved in this stuff from the stands? Are you yelling, calling out? Do you just
Patrick,
go silent?
I found out uh over the course of maybe like the last year, I really tuned out a lot about what goes on. It's my kids' game. It's great. I'm not saying I'm definitely not raising an NBA, a future NBA player, whatever. And I think he's cool with that. He's comfortable in the way he plays basketball and he likes it and he tries. Um, but aside from that, that's all I can really do, man.
So you just
I'll
sort
be
of sit
there's
in the stands quietly.
I just said, I don't, when I see it, I apologize to my son the other day because I told him, I said, I feel bad that there were times when he'd make a bad pass and I'd go, oh, Camilo, and oh, that's a bad pass. And it's like, well, like, hey, who the hell are you, you fat slob, tell me that I missed, like, what can you do? And it's
Mhm.
true, what can I do? And I'm telling him, I'm calling him out on something, publicly. So no, man, I just sit there and if he makes one, I'll clap but if he doesn't, I don't say a word. Or if he's gonna
Yeah.
make a bad play, good play, I'm not screaming, God, that a boy, that a boy. But and I think it takes away a lot of that stress. Oh, Patrick, like I've been in games where like I've witnessed games where like parents had to be broken up.
Yeah, yeah. It
They're
seems like you're in a pretty violent league, coaches
It's
and
city league.
parents.
It's city league, Patton. And so,
Okay,
I've
city
had
league is
they
different.
I heard about a fight happening that started because there was beef on Instagram between two parents
Oh,
about their
right. So
kids'
you're going into
basketball
games with a
posts.
little bit of heat already.
Yeah. Oh
Jeez.
yeah.
There's no end to really the places parents will go. Really. And it's almost the younger the kid, the worse potential it is, I think. I go to my nephew's games and I've noticed I'm fairly encouraging with the players. The refereeing starts to drive me a little nuts. Like there was a part, I think he had a game, I think yesterday, and there's 8 seconds left in the first quarter. And the referee calls a ball out of bounds, so inbound the ball. But the clock doesn't stop during these like balls out. So the coach is yelling, let's go, inbound the ball, inbound the ball. And the other team is slow to get out on the court, and the ref is just holding the ball, waiting for the other team to come out, and the clock runs out. And the referee just goes, quarter. And the parents are like, what quarter? You're holding the ball. They were subbing. You can't, like, they're losing it. And I'll get mad when the referees mess up. Like, there was this kid. The funny part is these poor kids really only know about 10% of the rules of basketball. So there's a part where they're shooting free throws and this kid just steps in the lane just a full 2 seconds before the ball is shot for the free throw. And the kid makes the free throw. And I instantly know, hey, that's a lane violation. That shot shouldn't count. It's the other team's ball. And it took the ref 10 seconds to figure it out. And I'm on the bench going like, how long are we going to wait for these calls? Like I'm starting to get mad at the referees. And by the way, I have no kid on the court. I'm just there.
Right.
Half these parents are like, who is this guy that keeps showing up? We don't see him at the school meetings. He doesn't have a kid. Who is this guy? And then there was one kid on my nephew's team. There's always one kid growing up who's the best at dribbling. So the kid takes it upon himself to dribble all the time. And he had...
And not pass.
Not pass. Never pass. And if he does pass, it's to his one friend who passes it right back to him. And
right, because he's just going to clap and get it back.
Yeah, he's going to clap and get it back. And then this is what my nephew does. He's not super involved in the offense, but he has figured out if you clap for the ball, it kind of gives you a little bit of cover like you're in the game. So he's on the other side of the court clapping for the ball. And like, there's no way the kid's going to throw the ball 90 feet to you. Don't clap for the ball.
And he's that far because he wants no part of the ball.
Right. You can tell who wants the ball and who doesn't. My nephew does not want the ball. He's like, you guys do your thing. I'll be over here.
And then the ones that do say, Patrick, man, like these kids are these kids are firing threes from like 6 feet, like, beyond the arc. Man, it's like, what are you guys doing? And like,
Yeah.
what coach is letting you shoot like this? Coach Baca would have yanked one of us out of the game if we had shot that
Hmm.
far out from a three.
Yeah. Well, that's my trauma. When I go to these games and everything that happens, I just relive it through what were the eyes of our crazy strict coach have yelled at us, done to us on the court in this situation. I'm like, you kids don't know how good you have it. We were lambasted on the court in front of our own parents, in front of cheerleaders. It was rough. So I'm watching this one kid who 3 trips down the court has carried the ball twice, and on the third time tries to put the ball behind his back and it gets stolen. And I say what I think is under my breath, what a dumbass play. And I'm like, wait, I don't know whose parent this kid's is. I could be sitting next to this kid's parent, and I'm just calling this little kid a dumbass for his bad dribbling skills. So I have a hard time finding the happy medium of how much I should cheer and how much I should not at these games. So, all God willing, maybe one day I'll be kicked out of a game. I think that'd be fun.
It's gonna happen.
It's going to happen at some point. Yeah. And it makes me relive our trauma of like 7th and 8th grade basketball where we were just
Patrick.
yelled out constantly. And I remember it because I see it in my nephew's eyes where like, there was times like, I don't want to go in the game. I'm happy here on the bench. Let's not screw things up. Let's stay over here. So much
Yeah.
childhood trauma.
But anyway, so it happens to go to the
Unbelievable.
second game, and there's more technicals, but nobody gets thrown out.
Oh, good.
Uh, the boys win that game, and there's actually one girl on the team. And then so after that, we just go home. I come back. I put the headphones in. I go for a short walk. Well, I say short, but I walk for about an hour. But I'm listening to nothing but Super Bowl radio, Super Bowl radio, Super Bowl radio. I'm taking it all in, all the analysis. You know, I'm just eating it. I'm eating it up. Um, After that, we all make our way to your parents, and just we eat. And as you know, there's a group that stays by the pool table
Hmm.
inside. And
Yeah.
that's a
My
that's a
parents
that's a
have an odd
comfortable one.
house.
It's a
Oddly, oddly a house that's not great for watching
no,
sports.
it's
Like
really
they don't have the big
not.
family room couch area. They just have a TV and people stand around it. My parents do crazy stuff like that sometimes. It'll throw you off. So where did you post
Yeah.
up for this game?
So I stayed. I was outside. They have
Hmm.
the bar outside. I had two. I only had two beers today. Today, and they were all before kickoff. One was before kickoff, and then one was right after kickoff.
Mm.
And after
Why
that, I
why did
was
you limit yourself? Any reason?
no, as I'm getting older, it gets heavier. I
Mm.
can't drink. I can't drink that much.
Yeah, okay. I
I
think I
think
went
I
for
think I
like three
think
or four myself today. I was on the borderline of being overserved.
I think two is like okay. I think that's a good number. And I was also driving.
Hmm.
So that then so after the first quarter, I didn't have anything else to drink for the but eating and um I don't know about you. I thought the commercials were underwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a
I
few I
didn't.
liked, a few bummer commercials, a few funny ones, a few celebrity ones. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think too closely in the commercials this year. There's not that many that jumped out at me. Just quick family side note, breaking news. I'm getting a text from our Uncle Ray, and he wants to know if you lost a $20 bill. That's what he just texted me. So I assume my Uncle Ray was at the same Super Bowl party as you. And he
Yeah.
said, "Are you doing your show? Can you ask Omar if he lost a $20 bill?" What is he talking about?
No, I think maybe when we. No, I didn't.
Okay, all right. I'm going to text him on the show. Yeah, sometimes contributor to the show, Uncle Ray, wants to know if he lost a $20. We didn't hear from Ray this year, I don't think, did we?
We talked about that. That was such a great episode when he called in that one year. Um, but no, it was Pat. It
He's
is
laying
it
low
was a
this year. He was not very high in his Cowboys at any point during the year.
it was a very bland Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It was just so dominant by the Seahawks. And I think that goes
Yeah.
to show the dominance level, the level that the Seahawks played, how dominant they were. That it just seemed at some point you're like, wow, these guys are just a lot better than the Patriots,
Yeah. They
and
definitely were.
throw nostalgia out the window, throw, Mrs. The Patriots dynasty is gonna be reborn. And no, it was just not that. Um, so no, not a you know, not a not a not a you, and you also can't say there was like those plays that were just like the super signature,
Hmm. Didn't have
the
that.
big play, Lynn Swan, getting that pass broken up and then coming down with it, the John Taylor touchdown from Joe
No,
Montana.
it didn't have any of that. You're right. And it just about
The the,
into the
the
third
big
quarter, it reeked of that Patriots Rams 16-3 game where it's like, oh no, is this the year we have that game?
It's like so even in a blowout, look, Patrick, in a blowout, Michael Irvin got, in the Super Bowl you went to, Michael Irvin got that big touchdown and
Hmm.
just spiked it when he was going
Yeah.
crazy. And you remember it, and like how cool is it that you remember a play during a blowout? That's
Hmm.
what the Super Bowl can do.
Yeah.
I
We
think
we
he
have
went
these
up,
every
he
when was
went
the
up, his
last year we
legs
had
went
a
up.
when was the last year we had a great Super Bowl? Last year's was a
I
dud.
the
I guess
Niners
the San
Chiefs went to
Francisco Chiefs that went into overtime was good.
yeah,
That was three
that was a
years
good
ago.
one. Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't
Uh,
that long, so we were due. We're due some off years. This was one of those Super Bowls where, I mean,
You know
everything
the
was
the
great in the lead up until the game actually started this year. Everything, the field looked great. The West Coast, San Francisco looked great. The uniforms on the field, I thought the national anthem and all the stuff leading up was awesome. So everything was great, but the actual competition
the,
of the game
the
this
yeah.
year. So, yeah, it's a weird way to put an end to the season, but Seattle just dominated everything. We even had a
They kind of that they're not going to get the praise the 85 Bears and the 2000 Ravens on a historical level got, but when you look at their playoff run, and I'm going to count their playoff run was even a game longer because they had to play the Niners in in San Francisco and get that win on the road to wrap up the number one seed.
mhm.
That's an impressive run that they were
Yeah,
able to go through.
yeah. Looking back at the Seattle Seahawks playoff run, it was great football from start to finish. They played that week 18 to get the number of seed against San Francisco. Then they have the dominant performance. Then they play the Rams, which I think the Rams gave them their best shot of all the playoffs. And then they came in with just a game plan that just was flawless today against the Patriots. It was great, and there's a lot of people to be happy for on the Seahawks team. Like I was really happy for Sam Darnold, who flipped it from being just in the lowest of low with the New York Jets, and then after 4 or 5 years into a starting role for the Seahawks and being at the wheel for a Super Bowl team. The head coach, Mike McDonald, guy just seems like he's going to be in that head coaching spot forever and just be turning out great teams year after year. The defense of Seattle, every single name was just like everywhere. Everywhere. Every play was like, whoa, did you see that play? Whoa, did you see that tackle? I was impressive. So there was a lot to be happy for in that Seattle team. And then also this week, we got to relive 100 times over the Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl, the Malcolm Butler Super Bowl, which I watched 100 times over. And like, it's one of the great games. And it really
How
comes down to
special
like,
was that?
all we remember is the Malcolm Butler play, but that whole Super Bowl was amazing. So we got to relive that, and Seattle is now on the winning end of that. So pretty great, pretty great overall week lead up pageantry, and the game just didn't live up to it. Maybe we shouldn't be too upset by it, but I mean, just a great day. I started the coverage early. I love the Hall of Famers coming out
No,
onto the
it's
field.
the honorary captains. That was great to see.
Hmm.
I that that's I. Yeah, that's so awesome, Pat.
One of the funny things, because the Super Bowl is on NBC, you can watch it on the Peacock feed, and Peacock is just drawing stars on their from all their other shows into some sort of Super Bowl coverage. Like Bravo is under the Peacock channel, so they've got the Real Housewives on a boat making Super Bowl picks and drinking mimosas with Seattle Seahawks logos on it and Patriots logos. I was like, look at this. I was like, there's no end. Like, let me grab some Housewives. Let me grab some other reality TV shows. They sent Tony Dungy to Alcatraz to do a remote. I was like, I don't know if this is really necessary, but Tony Dungy is on an island with in an abandoned jail, and he's doing his Super Bowl picks. I was like, I guess we're just looking for anything, and then we just send him there. Chris Sims was on a boat. He was on a boat doing a report. So
Yeah.
I thought NBC casted a really wide net for a lot of stuff today, and it was pretty fun. That was great. I enjoyed it.
I didn't catch any really pregame um music because I was doing just on the talk radio, so I didn't. I heard Green Day performed.
Yeah, Green Day kicked it off. It's
Yeah,
always seems to be like these Super Bowls are kind of half Super Bowl, half concert. To a Green Day kicked it off, and I thought there was a lot of nostalgia to this Super Bowl overall. We had Green Day, and NBC does this a lot, but in and out of every commercial, a lot of classic rock from NBC coming out of
yeah.
commercials, coming back, and the commercials too had classic rock in a lot of them. I was like, all right, this is a throwback that I'm kind of liking today. Like Budweiser had Freebird going. And I was like, yeah, I can get on board with this. Like what a throwback to Americana. Which to me, that's what the Super Bowl really is the greatest piece of Americana. Football is our national pastime. We've invested 6 months of our lives into this season. This is the biggest stage. And it's in a sunny California place this year. Let's see everything we got to show about America. So I think it always works for me. I love it. So, great day overall. So let's go through the
What's
game.
what are you eating?
I went with we had the spread at my brother's house. We had meatballs. We had pulled pork, fried chicken, chips and salsa, buffalo wings as well. So we had a pretty good spread going. So that's the other thing with this food, especially if the game is not that great, you need to rely on food to
Right.
get you through some of these quarters. And I thought we had everything needed. It was in a place where you could easily get up and walk to it to refill your plate. I would say we might have been short a dessert, possibly, because you need that dessert sometimes to make it through all the way through that fourth quarter, especially in a game where the outcome is decided early. So I think we could have used a dessert. So that would be my only critique is we had so much food, maybe some ice cream, maybe a cake would have been nice to have. Let me ask you, how was my dad on this Super Bowl Sunday? Because you know my dad can be a little bit of a wild card at some of these family events. So what was going on with my dad today?
No, he was just having a good time, just chilling out. He was at the bar area. He's drinking just a few glasses of wine, but just talking. I was the one that brought it up to him that it was Sam Darnold was the first USC
Mm-hmm. That was an
quarterback
interesting stat.
to start a Super Bowl, and then he's actually now the first Super Bowl winning quarterback from USC, and that kind of surprises you,
Me
right?
too. I was really surprised when I saw that stat this week. I was like, that can't be. And I'm running through the USC quarterbacks in my head. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and then I think once your dad found that out, that gave him a little more interest in the
Mm-hmm.
game. He's ready to fight on, and so that was pretty cool.
Okay. All right. So my dad was normal fan because sometimes my dad can get loud. Sometimes my dad can get superstitious. Have you ever seen this one where he'll leave a room because he thinks he's bad luck? And he'll just totally leave a room and just disappear for most of the game. And then just poke his head in every now and again. He's done that move a few times. But since he doesn't have a team in the game, so maybe that's why he didn't do that. All right, well, it sounds like a really fun Super Bowl party for you. I'm going to run
Yeah.
through a couple details in the game that I thought were worth talking about, mainly from the second half on, I think is the important parts of it. There was basically one big New England first down that I think if they didn't get, Seattle would have steamrolled them even earlier, where they were backed up at the 4-yard line, New England was, and they got that one first down.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, oh
They
God,
swung that
it's going
they
to be
got in a
16 to
swing.
0.
Yeah, they did that
Otherwise,
swing pass.
yeah, that
It was actually a great play from Drake May.
only good play of the first half in Seattle.
Yeah.
Then we come out of halftime, and I was, like I said, I was totally ready for the adjustment of New England. I expected some reverses, something, the trick play, like something creative. We didn't get a lot of that. Disappointing. Seattle goes up 12-0, and it really felt like they were up 28-0 when they kicked that field goal. I was like, oh, there's no way. This is such a mountain. Then New England instantly goes 3 and out.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow their defense gets them the ball back. And then New England, I think this might have been the first May interception. They cut to Vrabel, and he just looked like he wanted to throw up. Like Vrabel looked physically sick on the sidelines for most of this game. New England was just so conventional on offense. I couldn't understand it. Seattle scores their first touchdown, and the biggest surprise of the game is New England comes right back down the field and has that amazing pass to Hollins for the touchdown.
Yeah.
It was really impressive. Like, wait, where was all this? Then we go, New England gets the ball back again. We have the one promising drive from May, and then he throws the interception that Chris Collinsworth is completely confused by.
Well, that's going to be my quote. So without getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay, yeah, Collinsworth is just like, I don't know what he's seen, and that was strange. Seattle gets a field goal. New England gets a tiny bit of momentum going, and then May gets the strip sack for a touchdown. Becomes 29-7. New England got
last beer at the NFL season.
Oh, there it is, everybody. We knew it was coming. New England still gets a touchdown. They try an onside kick. Onside kick was no chance of recovery. And then that was about it, essentially. The Gatorade color was green. That was dumped on Mike McDonald. Yep. And we had a non-quarterback MVP for the first time in a long time.
And he deserved it. But that was a bell cow performance.
I almost feel like he had that one long touchdown run that got called back on holding.
That could have been the play.
Yeah, I feel like they added that. They're like, hey, that's good enough for me. That's the touchdown. He was clearly the most athletic guy on that field.
Yeah, notice his stance. He's got like that Genty stance.
Yeah,
they just stand up.
He's got the Ashton Genty stance. Yeah, you're right. So now we can start to look forward to next season. And there's already all the rumors out, all the trades, all the drafts.
Fernando Mendoza.
It's already ready. I can't wait. I can't wait to buy everything Fernando Mendoza. And then I was thinking this about it because I'm already like, well, I need a home jersey Mendoza. I need an away jersey. Well, what about a sweater? What about a t-shirt? I'm already saying, and then I thought, what if there was ever a player on the Raiders who had my same last name, whose last name was Ramirez? There'd be no stopping me. I would buy everything of that namesake of it. And I looked it up, how many Ramirez's are actually in the league currently. And there's really only one current player.
Right.
And he's a backup offensive lineman for Philadelphia. I looked him up, but they don't make his jersey. So what would you do if someone had your namesake on your team?
No. Oh, he better be good.
You wouldn't instantly run out and buy the jersey?
No.
No, you wouldn't want your name on your favorite team's jersey? I would.
No.
Why not?
What if he's the kicker that has missed like 3 straight?
But it's your name. You could say it's my name.
I don't know.
I think I would buy too much stuff if my last name was ever an NFL player and it was on my favorite team. Jeez, Mendoza. I'm getting ready. I'm already getting excited, Omar. I got a lot of hopes. All right, so let's do the final awards for this season. It's the season
Oh,
finale.
whoa, whoa. But let's what were they? What'd you think of the halftime performance?
Oh yeah, halftime. I thought the best part of the halftime show was um, the whole like theater setup that they did. How they
Yeah, it
made
was
up.
interesting, right?
Yeah, I wish I understood what Bad Bunny was saying. I
I
couldn't
didn't think it was.
understand that.
I don't think it was a political thing. I think it was just a very positive, like
No, it was
where
positive.
you come,
I just wish I knew what he was saying.
where you come from. Don't forget where you come from. But even regardless of where you come from, you can make it.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I liked it. I just didn't know. I just didn't know what he was saying in Spanish.
Like what he was saying in Spanish, right?
Yeah, yeah. I just didn't know what he was saying. But I think that the scariest part, the most interesting part of the game, was when he did the swan dive backwards. I was like, oh shit, are they gonna catch him? That was the most nervous part I was of the whole game. Uh, yeah, and then he carried a football. That was fun. I don't know if he always wears like the shoulder pad suit for performances, or if that was just for this football halftime performance or not. But I thought it was fun. It was not bad. I just didn't know any of the songs. I don't know what the heck he was saying. I wouldn't have mind a performer with a little more energy, but I liked the theater setup. They essentially made a Broadway play out of the football field. I thought that was really impressive. That was cool. How about Ricky Martin? Did you like the Ricky Martin appearance?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I almost wanted him to do a song. Just do a full song. Give me some Livin' La Vida Loca.
That was cool.
And then that was Lady Gaga that popped up there.
Yeah, that was a great performance. Yeah, she could do it all.
Are we missing the one big surprise celebrity cameo in these halftime shows like we used to get?
I didn't see much celebrity this year, as far as even the ones that were in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
Um,
they did a little pan to it
but
during the game,
I
and
didn't see
it was all
I
the
didn't
normal
see
ones.
many I didn't see many in luxury boxes. Did you?
They showed Robert Kraft, they showed
Yeah, of
Jay
course, I'm sure
Z,
Robert Kraft.
they showed Jay Z. Um, yeah, they showed a few, but it wasn't an extended period of time. I was thinking more of the celebrity cameo in the halftime show, where they pop up and they sing a song and nobody expected them. I don't think we've had that the last couple years. I thought that
No.
might have been an extra thing that could have kicked off the show just that little bit more. It was fun. What was your thoughts on the halftime show? Going into it, did you have any concerns? Did you like the selection?
I liked the selection. I had no problem with it, and I enjoyed it. It was a great performance.
Okay, no problem there.
I'll just leave it at that. It was
Why?
I appreciated it. He's pretty good.
Okay, you liked it. All right,
I liked it.
got it. All right, fun times. I thought it worked for California too. I thought California was a good place to have that. But I just, I was just thinking in my head, all the households in like Green Bay and stuff watching and be like, what the hell is he saying? What channel is this?
Yeah.
What what language is this? Are we watching the Super Bowl? Is this a World Cup? I can just imagine all the households. I'm waiting for all the Instagram videos. You know how people like record their family members watching sports without them knowing it? I'm waiting for those videos this week so we can see what everybody says when they can't understand them in Spanish. All right. Overall fun Super Bowl. We hope for a better game. We didn't get it. But overall, what a day. What a day in sports. So let's do the awards. Our final round of awards for the year. And we started off with most memorable moment of the day. And like anything else, it's open to anything and everything of the whole day. I tried my best to keep this to all football related, but I went off the map a little bit here. But most memorable moment from the game, best thing I could think of was the Drake May strip sack for the touchdown.
Okay.
It was the most action. It was for a touchdown. I thought it put the nail in the coffin. It solidified everything the game was as well. Was my most memorable moment. Like that's going to be on the cover of the newspapers tomorrow, is running in to the end zone from that strip sack. So what do you got? Most memorable moment of the game?
I'm gonna say it was Mike McDonald, his look when he's just, walking on the field and him just looking at the confetti coming down and he was just taken, in awe. And I think that just the look on his face of
Hmm.
what his team had accomplished, that's what I'm taking away.
I've never seen another coach do that. It was a really great moment to catch of him just looking at the confetti and all the cameras around him, just like realizing what he had accomplished. That was a special one. That one's really good. I didn't know there was a hardball on the Seattle coaching staff too. That was interesting to find out. A
Right.
special teams coach. And, oh yeah, two really good moments. I thought the national anthem was one of the better ones this year too, with
I
the
didn't
horns
catch
and the
it.
saxophones.
I don't know if I was getting plates or whatever I was doing.
Right.
I didn't catch it at all.
Wow. Maybe you were on the run. You're like your son's basketball coach was on the run. Maybe you're in a high speed
Right.
chase. Yeah, it was an interesting interpretation. It was real brassy, a lot of horns, and it almost a little bit of a jazz element to the national anthem. I thought it worked really well. All right, next award. Anytime we have a game like this usually seems to be the most full category. The cringeworthy award for the day. I got Mike Vrabel's face for about a good 45 minutes straight in that second half, where he had the mouth open, his eyes were getting squinty, like he just almost couldn't believe what he was seeing. Was a cringeworthy nominee. I also got from New England's punt returner letting a punt go and then it bounces to like the 1 yard line when you could have fair caught that punt. We still can't figure out punt returning a lot of times. That was very cringeworthy. And then my last, most controversial, cringeworthy moment of the day. How about the Dirty Jew commercial? Did you see that?
Yeah.
What the hell was that? Was that necessary?
I Robert Kraft paid for that commercial.
Oh, is that right? I,
Was it
I
the one where
don't,
they put the blue
the post-it note, right? Though,
the
yes, the
blue
post-it
post-it
note.
note?
And then his friend says,
Yes.
like, hey, man, don't worry about it.
Yeah, that Robert Kraft paid for that commercial.
Gotcha. I thought that commercial was a real downer and it changed the mood in the room at the time. How was
No,
it
it was a
received at my parents' house?
we have some individuals at that house that are very at the party that were on very opposite sides of that spectrum. So I think it was very good that we did not really comment or really draw any attention to that commercial or the halftime show.
I would have liked to have been there just for that
Nah,
commercial. I don't
in this day and age,
is it me? I have seen, heard, experienced very little Jew hate in my own circles. So when I hear all this, I'm
we don't.
like, is this goes on? I know that, but
You and I grew up together. Look, we went to a private, we went to private Catholic schools growing
mhm.
up. And so we didn't really have a lot of Jewish people in
Right, we
our.
didn't. But we did have some. I do remember some were in all our
No, there were
schools.
some, but and I wasn't close to them, not because of their religion. It's just just people.
You
I
were the
just
guy with the
wasn't.
post-it?
Yeah, yeah, I was the guy with the blue post-it on
Oh,
my
blue.
chest, and the blue sticky. So no, I didn't. I didn't have any problems,
No, nobody
but
did. That's what I'm saying. I just never experienced this much hate. And that's why I think this commercial, I think actually does more harm than good. Where it's like we keep talking about this and talking about this. All of a sudden we've made it a thing, but very awkward, cringeworthy commercial to put there in the middle of the Super Bowl. So it
yeah.
got my cringeworthy nominee for sure. The dirty
Oh.
Jew commercial, and just like a very non-creative insult too. Just a rough way to go there. Dirty Jew, come on. Interesting. All right, what do you got? Cringeworthy nominees and winners
Some
for the week.
um some of those Drake May misses, but definitely
Mm,
that pick six was, you know, hard to watch.
yeah, Yeah, it was the nail in the coffin. Everybody looked distraught. If you're on the New England side of things, it was just over at that point. All right. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good cringeworthy. Did you catch the streaker on the field?
Well, yeah, and it's funny because when you're with older people that can't hear very well, um,
Right. Yeah, my parents
at
don't
a
hear well.
party, they're constantly like, "What's going on? What's going on?" I'm trying to explain to everybody. Well, there's a streaker, and they don't want to draw any attention to the streaker, and but they're not understanding that. They're like, "What's going on? Why won't the game start?" And you're like, "Well, there's this streaker," and they're like, "Okay, then there's complete silence." And it's like, I wonder why the game's not starting.
Really? They couldn't figure this out, my family?
No.
Gosh, well, nothing should surprise me where my family like, what? Huh. That's really strange. I will propose an amendment to the streaker because they don't show them on camera, obviously, because then everybody would do it. Because that's how crazy we are as a human race. Is like we see something crazy, it gets on TV, and then we'll just want to do it 10 times more. But I will propose this amendment.
Well, but keep in mind this. So keep this in mind that when you're not supposed to draw attention to the streakers, and the announcers aren't giving much help either. It didn't seem like that Collinsworth and Tirico did a good job using that dead time to kind of, because you really can't explain what's going on, but it wasn't
right. Yeah, they're in a weird situation as well. It's like, do we address what's happening, or is that going to actually make it work?
Because we're told not to address any, not to get any more attention to this thing,
Yeah, but as like a TV viewer, something is going on, something is different, and you can hear the crowd react as well. So sometimes, like, we got someone on the field,
and the camera picks like this one player, and then then it just gets stuck on that player from him walking to the sidelines, him, getting a Gatorade and sitting down,
Well, my amendment would be if we're in the second half and the game is more than 15 points difference, I say we show streakers. That's my amendment. It's the only way it can happen. Second half, more 15 points or more, we show the streaker. We show anybody who runs on the field. That'd be my amendment. I'm going to propose it to the NFL Rules Committee for next year.
I like it.
Just like give the audience something. Next award, Best Innovation Award. This is my hardest one to come up with. I mean, there's so many because there's a lot of technology with the Super Bowl these days. A couple close catches that we needed some slow-mo instant replay for. So I could go slow-mo in 4K is a pretty great innovation. That one Cooper Kupp play where it looked like he caught it, but then another angle looked like it hit the ground. And just depending on what angle you looked at, you could make either decision. So I'm going to go slow-mo, but also drone slow-mo. I feel like we need to use more drones. We need to use more drones in the NFL. I don't think we're utilizing them as much as we should, because I'm watching the Olympics and the drones are just following skiers and speed skaters at like 70 miles an hour. I'm like, let's do it with NFL. Let's follow players with drones. We can do it. So I'm going to go with drones in the future. Future drones. Maybe AI future drones. A lot of AI commercials too. I don't know if you caught that today. Kind of scary. So I'm going to go AI future drones as an innovation for me. What do you got? Best Innovation Award.
I was noticing at San Francisco, Santa Clara, the stadium, the screens that are on, the display screens that are on the sides of of the stadium. Yeah, that's just such a good. They're so clear, and it used to be just lights that lit up to say the scores and but now it's just all this. It's just crazy what these stadiums look like.
Yeah, the stadiums have become so advanced too. The luxury. I still wish we get a little tour of the luxury boxes for like 99% of us that will never get to sit in a luxury box. Why can't we get a video tour of what goes on in there? I would like to see what each facility's got. That'd be cool. All right, next award, the Hot Take Award for the season finale. I think mine's pretty hot, but I think you might even be able to guess it. But my hot take is a healthy Bo Nix and the Broncos would have been a better game today. You know, I if I'm
Healthy
just
Bo that
I'm just
healthy
looking
Bo
at Sean
Nix.
Payton's approach to Seattle, I think it would have been able to figure out more than Mike Vrabel did today.
Patrick, I don't know. Things are coming out of Denver that I don't really like. I've been hearing with Sean Payton like leaking some
Mm-hmm.
surgery news on his starting quarterback.
Yeah, little riff
Uh,
going on there.
yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what the makeup is going to be moving forward with that team. When you have a starting quarterback, tell a media person, I really wish my head coach wouldn't talk about my surgeries from other years so
Mm,
openly. That doesn't sound very good.
yeah. And nothing like you can't say something in the press and then you also have a response in the press and expect it to improve. You can't
Right.
do anything that way and not expect it to throw another log on that fire. I just thought a healthy Bo Nix and the Broncos would have had more to say offensively today than what
Maybe.
New England put out there today. It was so disappointing. That being said, I would have thought Vrabel could have put more out than this. If you were to ask me, like,
Yeah.
are they gonna score 0 points in the first half? I'd be like, no. And yet they did. It was rough. So that's my hot take. A healthy Bo Nix and the Broncos would have been a better Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hot take from you.
49ers will be in the Super Bowl next year.
Oh, wow. Really? What do
Let's go. I'm going to
you
say it right now.
do you have some hopes for the 49ers as far as who you want to acquire in the offseason, who you want to draft? Anything big picture where you're
Uh,
like, let's get this,
oh,
this, this, and we'll be ready.
Patrick, right now, I mean, if I could figure out a way we could get Max Crosby because he's
Mm.
leaving Las Vegas.
Seems like
Okay.
there's a
He's
lot of talk. Any hopes in changing practice field locations to get away from the energy center
yes, yes.
that's giving you
Now
guys
I'm
ligament
paranoid.
injuries?
Now I'm paranoid about these
Oh, so
electromagnetic
you flipped because last
waves.
week you called me nuts. You
Yeah.
called me a
Yeah.
crazy
I
conspiracy
think
theorist.
I'm all for these crazy conspiracies.
Well, 5 years ago, if you had asked me about conspiracy theories, I would have believed next to none. But now you tell me, and I'm like, I think I believe everything. All the things we know now, I'm like, yeah, it's possible. Did we land in the moon? Maybe not. Was it Lee Harvey Oswald killed Kennedy? Maybe not. Was
Maybe
what
not.
is this energy
Did we
center
did
giving ligament
did we
injuries?
land
Probably.
did we land on the moon?
Oh, you asking me?
No, I'm just saying that's the kinds of things that we're
Oh,
questioning these days.
yeah. Now I question everything just because in the last 5 years of all the stuff that we know to be true. And now maybe the energy center is true. It seems like you might be on board with that.
Hell, well, let's just do the Earth is flat. You know what I mean? Why
I don't know if
not?
I'll go that far because I have
Why
seen
not?
pictures.
Why not? But why not say it, Patrick? Because now it seems like you can say whatever you want. Just say it out loud, and you're gonna find somebody to believe it.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying myself personally. If you say something crazy, I just don't dismiss right away. I'm like, oh, let me look into that. Like if you say
Okay.
the earth is flat, then I go like, well, why would I say no? Okay, wait, I've seen pictures. All right, maybe you could fake those, I guess. But wait a second. What about shadows? Shadows curve. Well, wait a second. Haven't we been in planes high enough and you can see the curvature of the earth? So I default to
Oh,
some of my own reasoning for some of these. But have I ever seen the earth from space? I haven't.
no.
But it would be a pretty monumental task to try and fake everybody out that the earth was flat over so many years. Maybe we need a new segment on the show. It's called Conspiracy Corner. All right. Well, we have the whole off season to think about it. Next award, the Casting Couch Award. Wait, you said Max Crosby's on your list. You want Crosby, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jeez, I wonder if he's going to stay or go because there was a lot of talk about Crosby possibly leaving this week. Doesn't seem happy. Doesn't seem happy at all. Yeah, so you'd want him. You get Crosby. Say you go through a season that isn't so injury riddled. That's a scary team. Very scary 49er team. All right. Next award, the Casting Couch Award. All right, we got to make a movie out of this week. This whole leading up to it. I got one. I want to hear yours first, though. Let's see if I can get some ideas from yours.
I just looking at that halftime show. The only movie I could think of that I wanted to watch. Maybe I'll look for it right now and stream it. Carlito's Way.
Oh, so you just went with like a double feature.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go Field of Dreams, walking out of the
No.
cornfield.
No.
Carlito's Way.
Yeah.
Just one of the great late 80s, 90s stories of a guy who gets out of prison and just can't stay away from crime. Just has
But
to
he
get
wants
back
to.
into
But he wants. But he wants to
right,
do
wants to
good.
go clean. It was like, I can't stop committing crimes. At some point, I got to kill John Leguizamo, which was every third movie in the late 80s. All right, I got a movie I want to pitch to you. This movie is a sequel to the movie Wedding Crashers. Now, we're like 15, 20 years on, and now Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, they're not crashing weddings. They're crashing Super Bowl parties, and they're selling Super Bowl tickets. This is their thing. They're now in the business of the underworld professional sports tickets. So now we get the scene where they're at like the crazy high-end beachfront house party, and people are like, who are you guys with? And they're like, we're with H&R Corporations. And they're like, what? Oh yeah. And then they're partying. They're in the back of limos. People like, who are you friends with? You're like, we're friends with the management. And they're like, oh, right. They're just making up the lies like they are in Wedding Crashers. And their big scam is they sell Super Bowl tickets aftermarket. And the name of this movie is called Scalpers. And the final scene is the Super Bowl party, and everybody looks around and everybody's at the party except Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. And it's a shot of them in a convertible car just speeding down the highway, away from it all. Credits roll. It's called Scalpers. You'd watch that movie, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely, I would.
Yeah, it's called Scalpers, sequel to Wedding Crashers. Get the band back together. Let's just run it back. Let's run back the buddy comedy right there. Owen Wilson was in a commercial today too, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah, I caught him in something.
Yeah.
How were you on that Dunkin' Donuts commercial where they had all the cameos inside of one commercial? Did that work for you?
The Dunkin' Donuts one was cool. And I got also like the Jurassic Park one.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting one. A lot of AI faces.
AI.
In that,
there were some that were just like
it's bad.
It was like the crypto one.
Crypto one.
You're just like reading words on the screen and like this.
Yeah, the AI is right in that middle zone where we are right now, where we're gonna watch these commercials in 5 years, and we're gonna say like, oh wow, look at the AI we had to watch back then. Now it's so much better. Yeah, it's in a weird in between spot of reality and cartoonish, because Jeff Goldblum and then Ted Danson comes out and you're like, oh yeah, I know who that is, but yeah, I know I'm not looking at a real person. My brain can recognize this. AI. All right, so oh yeah, we're talking about commercials. All right, next award, best quote.
I want to go. I had one.
Okay, go ahead.
It was there were no words in this quote, Pat. It's, I guess, a non-quote. It was the utter silence of Chris Collinsworth at that last Drake May interception. It was just, you were expecting Collinsworth to say something, and he was speechless. So I want to say with that dead air was my quote.
Wow, a non-quote quote. He was really beside himself. He could not understand what Drake May was looking at, or like why what do you think happened to Drake May today? Was the moment too big? They got behind and he couldn't perform, or just Seattle was just way too fast, way too good? What was going on with Drake May today? Or should we even be surprised? It's not like he lit up the playoffs with offense this postseason. What do you think it comes down to for him today?
I don't know. Just it was just a bad game. Just a bad game. And then
But
the
he was
Seattle,
not exactly MVP Drake May through these playoffs. Houston, he was bad.
no, the Seattle, but he played some great defenses, and he's young and he's going to
Offensive
learn.
line was
Hope,
terrible today too. I have to say the New
yeah,
England offensive line was
yeah,
bad.
bad.
Yeah. I just couldn't understand how every single pass play was 5 set drop, look around, sack. Five
Yep.
set drop, look around, sack. Like, why not roll them out? Why not a screen pass? Jason Garrett was telling him to throw a screen pass. For Christ's sake. Jason Garrett had something to say in the broadcast at about 11:15 this morning. He was saying something about all the tickets he had to get for one of the first Super Bowls he was in with the Cowboys as the backup. He had something about like he got like 30 tickets for people and people were
Yeah.
hounding him. And he's like, I told one guy, let me get 4 tickets. I told him no. I was like, wow, Jason Garrett. I never seen a assertive Jason Garrett. Pretty good. Where are we on? Quote. So you had the non-quote quote. Mine was during the time of the streaker who ran on the field. Did you catch what Mike Tirico called the streaker not once, but twice?
No, what do you say?
He said, all right, we got someone on the field. We got a real rocket scientist out on the field.
Oh,
And then like a minute goes by and they're rounding up. It's like, all right, we're getting the rocket scientist out of off the field. Rocket
so he
science
liked it.
is how long has that been the statement for like sarcastic dumb person? 50 years? How many years are we going on rocket science usage?
So he liked it a little too much.
Yeah, it was funny. He was just taking this real hard jab at the guy with the term rocket scientist. Tarico. I think Tarico had more fun today than Collinsworth in the booth, to be honest. Next award, the Play Call Award for the Super Bowl. I got I got one. And I got one that's definitely not. I'll tell you what didn't get the Play Call Award. Throwing a screen pass on the final play of the game by New England. Jesus Christ, what was that? But no, that did not get the award. My Play Call Award was, how about the Seattle Blitz by Witherspoon? 13 times? How many times did he blitz today?
Oh,
I think it was over 10, and it affected the play, I think, every single time. So I'm going to go with the play call to blitz 13 times by Witherspoon, and probably could have done it more. So I'll go with
my
that for
my
my,
my
my play call.
my play call going, on fourth down, the Seahawks were kicking and and it worked because their kicker was automatic.
Oh, like to kick field goals is the play
Yeah.
call. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't see too much going for it on fourth down today either.
No.
There wasn't a lot of situations that warranted, but in a season where we saw it so much, it really was not used to it. Not a lot of fourth down situations. I thought we were going to see a fake punt at some point, but that did not happen. In fact, no trick plays. Now that I think about it, can you think of one?
No. No.
I thought we
There are
were
a
going
few
to,
times where it seemed like it was like they were gonna form, but no.
yeah, like I thought a halfback pass was really possible, but nothing at all. All right, it's time for the last award of the season, Omar. Who
Last word of the
won the
season.
week? Who won the week? Wow, what do you got?
I want to say Bad Bunny won the week. Seattle Seahawks won the week.
Interesting.
Jackson Smith and Jigba won the week. Walker won the week. But I want to go of all people, Sam Darnold won the week. Great story from him. Great story of redemption. I was saying, maybe Sam Darnold wasn't the problem. Maybe just the wrong franchise drafted Sam Darnold.
hmm Tough beat.
And
Tough
and
beat for
and
the
they
for the Vikings today. Yep.
well, now the Jets and the Vikings, the
Jets
Jets, the
too.
Jets, the Jets drafted him, and so Sam Darnold won the week, Patrick. And there
Mm.
really is no, I think, no debate on who won the week.
I'm gonna go with who won the week. Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Had a pretty amazing game, almost borderline MVP candidate. And I went with Coach McDonald as well. Won the week as well.
That's like I really I'm gonna, like I said, what the scene I take away is gonna be just the look on his face when he's taking it all in. Another one, I want to give a shout out in a losing effort, Christian Gonzalez. I think
Yeah,
for
great
a
game. The
losing
only
effort,
only bright spot of the New England Patriots today.
for a losing effort. I mean, him breaking up those passes, him just diving for
Hmm.
laying out for every inch to bat those balls away. Christian
Yeah,
Gonzalez won the week in a losing effort.
yeah, great day by him in a really tough day for the Patriots. He was the one bright spot. I got a maybe won the week. Little personal. How about Clint Kubiak winning the Super Bowl, offensive coordinator, and seems like he's going to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders next year, Omar. How about Kubiak and the Raiders won the week? Can you
A
get on board?
championship. I can get on board. A championship
Mm,
coordinator is now going to become your coach, and maybe he can continue.
yes.
Maybe you'd love to have a season like Ben Johnson. Had a
Mm.
season in Chicago.
Oh
Kind of
man, I'm
one
gonna
of
close
those.
my eyes and you just talk about the potentials of the Las Vegas Raiders next year. Oh, what world am I in? Is the Earth flat? Will the Raiders win the
Yeah,
AFC Championship game? I can go. I'll believe anything now.
right. It could happen. We'll see.
Oh wow, yeah. So you're not throwing me out by my Clint Kubiak and the Raiders might have won the week.
I think we should end it on a just win, baby.
Oh, I like that. All right, just win, baby. 2026 and 2027 season. Wow, only a short 6 months away. Well, the draft's in April. Can't wait for that. All right. Well, cheers,
Let's
Omar. We
let's
did it.
let's 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 do it. Let's do a draft show.
We'll talk about the draft. We'll jump in and out, everybody, throughout the offseason with things we'd like to talk about for you, the fans. But, new listeners, new subscribers, new friends to the show throughout this season. Just
I think I think I,
NFL.
I think a
Go ahead.
show. I think a show on the Thursday night of the draft after round one.
Oh, yeah,
Let's shoot
like
for
a
that.
little breakdown. Okay. Yeah, NFL. I mean, you gave us the best gift that any sport can give to us: intrigue, drama, highs, lows,
Always in
a week of fun.
NFL. NFL is the man's soap opera.
Hmm.
It's there's really no off season. We're talking, starting tomorrow after this week, we're gonna replay the NFL, the Super Bowl. We're gonna replay every play and every yard. And then after that, we're gonna get into the draft. We're gonna talk about free agency and the contracts, who's gonna be franchise tagged and who's gonna be, we're gonna be paying attention to injuries,
Hmm.
the off season
Yeah.
surgeries
The
and
greatest thing about the
rehabs.
offseason is every single team is a potential Super Bowl winner, and we get
The
to
the
believe it
veteran
for 6 months.
the veterans that are they coming back? Are they not coming back? Matt Stafford
Stafford says
announces
he's coming back. We forgot to talk
he's
about
coming
that.
back.
Stafford MVP.
And now Aaron Rodgers is saying he may suit up again for Mike McCarthy's first year there in Pittsburgh. So and then after the draft, and we're going into like, okay, who's showing up for OTAs? Oh, this receiver did not show up for OTAs.
Right.
He's upset. He
He's right.
wants
He's mad
out.
about stuff. Micah Parsons took a
Um,
nap on the preseason bench.
right.
It's just the ultimate gift for a sports fan to just check in on, to really to really sink their teeth in and bond with a team. And just from reading bits of that new book by Chuck Klosterman, Football, just like how long is this going to be just in our hearts as such a piece of importance? Whether your team is tied to you through a city, a team you grew up with, how long is this going to be America's number one sport? There's no signs of it slowing down. It always gets bigger. More sponsorships, more commercials, more money, more TV, more access for us, the fan. So thank you, football, for giving us another fun season. Stuff to talk about, stuff to laugh about, stuff to cry about, and then ultimately stuff to look forward to next year. It's always fun talking football with you, Omar. My co-host, Omar Carmona, for the Sunday Night Talk. It's been quite the season, and we did it again, everybody. For the Sunday Night Talk, for me,
Good
Patrick
night.
Ramirez, for Omar Carmona, thank you, everybody. Good night. I'll see everybody.
Great year. See you next year. See you at the draft show. Let's do it.
See you next year, everybody. Enjoy the off season. We'll talk soon.